Staying with us, our guest today is a politician, member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ibrahim Obanikoro. To join the conversation, you can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for having me.
So you have been a member of the House of Representatives 3.5 years, representing Eti-Osa, local government in Lagos State. Federal constituency. Tell us about the work so far, what you've done, and how you've been able to influence lawmaking at the national level.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's been a journey, considering the fact that for about a year we had COVID lockdown. We were unable to operate, and then with the mixture of COVID and then SARS, I think it was about a year and some months that out of the 3.5 years that we've been in office. But then again, it's been a learning curve because National Assembly is a huge institution. You have 360 members, so at every given time, you are battling against 59 others, trying to bring one infrastructure or development to your constituency, trying to pass any motion, trying to move any motion, trying to pass any bill, because your bills have to cut across. Motions are almost clear-cut. They're almost like emergency. Okay, I have this emergency in my area, I can move a motion. Others don't necessarily have to go against it because you are dealing with a particular issue. But when it comes to presenting bills, that's when you have to make sure it cuts across, that even though it's bringing joy to your constituency, it's not bringing pain to them in the north or in the southeast. So that's where you have to do a lot of politicking, a lot of talking to make sure that whatever bill you want to pass is going to sit well with others. Otherwise, do not see the light of day in the National Assembly. Right. And that is why it takes a lot to move, to pass a bill, to go from first reading, second reading, third reading before it becomes an act. And it's a lot tougher if you are a first-timer coming from a place like Lagos, where you already have 24 members coming in. And so, and out of the 24, about 13 of them are highly respected ranking members. So all these things are put into consideration before, they bring the torchlights to you that you're just coming for the first time. Okay, so that's what the journey has been so far. It's been a learning curve. It's been an experience, and it's been worth it.
Nigerians are faced with a situation right now that I would like that President Muhammad Buhari is my constituency representative, so I just go directly to one kill us, make we die. So you are representing Eti-Osa. Imagine that your people have asked you to do something for them. As a lawmaker, what's the limitations that you have to solving this Naira scarcity? How far can you go to represent and bring about change to ease the lives of your people as a lawmaker?
So I think the House have done everything we can to try and ease the pain on Nigerians. I remember when the CBN representatives, that is all the deputy governors and high-ranking members of the CBN, came to the National Assembly. I stood up and I asked them that, at your management's decision, when you were deciding, how much did you decide to print? Let Nigerians know. But till date, I'm yet to figure out how much they were. In same meeting, same sitting, I asked them, I said, your policy, what it's going to do in the long run is that it's going to kill businesses, which is currently going on. And in the long run, what's going to happen is that banks are going to feel the need to reduce in size because customers are not coming to the bank again. And what that automatically means is that banks will be downsizing. They'll be firing and laying off people, which is going to contribute to unemployment. And they are yet to give us a solution to that. And just yesterday, the Speaker was also faulting the federal government for not abiding by
beyond faulting, what can you do?
And that's all we can do. We are lobbyists. We lobby, we shout, we cry, we speak for you. And he has been doing that on our behalf. And I've been doing that in my own little space as well. Like, this hardship is too much. I had my hair cut this morning. I could not give my barber 2,000 naira to barb my hair.
Wow.
That's how difficult the situation has been. I had to transfer money to him.
Eti-Osa, when we hear that, we just think, wealthy people, well-educated, well-exposed. So those are the caliber of people that you'll be representing. But also we know that your constituency is like the two opposites in that constituency. So how do you, and I need to add another thing, is that when I hear that, I also remember you have quite a major contender for your office.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what your approach is, because what he has celebrity status, you know, and how do you think that would affect your re-election or your campaign for re-election?
Well, Eti-Osa is a mixture of the masses, the middle class, and the rich. And, they're spread across Eti-Osa, but obviously there are more of the affluent in constituency 2, where you have Ikoyi, VI, and part of Obalende. Well, Obalende will be part of the middle class and masses. And then when you now go, you have riverine area, where it's island. That's Takwa Bay, Abagbo, Ebute-Oko, Ebute-Efun, Okwata, about 7 villages of that stretch that don't even have electricity. You know, so that they power themselves with generator. How do I deal with them? Because I've known them practically almost all my life. I've been part and parcel of the affluent, and I've been part and parcel of the middle class and the masses as well. So it's easier for me to relate with them. And if you come to Eti-Osa, you would see that the way I relate with them, the way we talk, the way we chat, hang out, is a lot different. They find peace in me, and I also find peace in them. And like I always tell everybody that cares to listen, popular does not win election anywhere in the world. It takes more than to be popular to win election. So, and politics and stardom and celebrity are two opposite.
Really? That's interesting.
There are two opposite ends. When you talk politics, you're dealing with reality. You're dealing with people with different emotions. You're dealing with different interests. You're dealing with different ideas. When you come to celebrity, all you're doing is trying to make believe. You know, what's not. You're trying to make what's not real on TV. You're trying to set pace. You know, so it's completely different. Your interests are aligned. You just want to make. You just want to make money. That's what you do.
You're accusing celebrities now?
No, I'm not accusing. No, I'm not accusing. I'm not accusing them.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing them. I'm just saying that there are two different.
Let me get a few questions.
Two different aspects of life, you know.
So I stay in Eti-Osa.
Thank you.
And last week I got a call. Ikate.
Ikate.
Last week I got a call. Somebody called me and was asking me. So I'm like, how did you get my number? They wanted me to vote for your contender, and they were speaking. A young lady speaking to me about it. I'm like, how did you get my number? So we have the data of everybody who registered under Eti-Osa, and it was quite impressive. And she wanted me to promise that she has my votes for that day. But I had to start asking her other questions. What do you think you can do for people of Eti-Osa? We have peculiar problems in the sense that we have a lot of young people who are not doing anything, who are always on the roads. They will try and act like they are helping you solve the issues of traffic, but then they are trying to extort you. We have a lot of beggars on that axis. I would like to know what you intend to do for us, since we are in that environment, and how you can solve those issues for us if you get in, to see if I would vote for you.
That is primarily the duty of the executive arm of government. And I know that in our last conversation with the governor, they are building a facility where they want to move this kids, especially the kids. The grown-up ones have been there for a long time. They're extremely evasive. They're very, very evasive. And there's actually, from investigation, there is a anchor man that, you know, brings all of them there, tells them what, there's like a cartel, you know, that brings them together, strategically places them where to go and where to be. And there's also an informant that informs them when the MOE is coming. You see that all of them will disperse, and you can't see them. But I know that we've had this conversation with our candidate, the gubernatorial candidate for Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu, and that there's a facility being put in place so that the ones we are able to get hold of, they will take them there for rehabilitation and education and what have you.
You implied earlier that being a first-timer in the National Assembly, you could have been, was a bit of a challenge, especially because those of you 24 that came in, 13 of you were well-known, and you were just trying to understand. So in a nutshell, you probably didn't get a lot of work done, as I would have liked, because you're a first-timer. So why do you think we should vote for you again?
On the contrary to that, and that's why I laid emphasis on the amount of time we've had to operate, just about 2 years and some months. And in that 2 years and some months, I've been able to move 4 bills that have gone through first reading. Okay. I've been able to move about 8 motions that tackled emergency situations such as the barrack renovation, because our barracks are a complete eyesore, especially the police one. We have ocean surge issues in areas like Okwafa, Okomoko, Okwaja, that the federal government needs to come and help us, because the erosion is a lot stronger than it used to be, so we need help for that. I moved the motion at all the abandoned aircrafts, as far back as Nigerian Airways, that on our...
Still there, yeah. You drive past it.
All those aircraft need to be evacuated. I've moved a motion to tackle the issue of nurses that are always treating patients.
So help me understand, when you move these motions, what are the next steps? Is it just bring it to the House and then nothing happens?
Once you move it, it goes to the committee stage, and then the committee now starts relating with the necessary agencies and ministries to make sure they bring...
Is there a timeline to when it's delivered? So I can drive down that Eti-Osa and say, these airplanes...
No, not Eti-Osa, it's at the airport.
The airport, okay.
Yeah. That one, they're actually working on it. One of the issues we are having now is that there is litigation on some of the crafts. Okay. So that's one of the issues why they are stalling on that one. And then in this short period as well, I've been able to facilitate about 8 roads. And Lekki Expressway is heavily populated. It's taking more than it can handle. So some of the inner roads, I've been able to bring the federal government to help us rehabilitate it, so that if you don't have to get on Lekki Express, you don't have to. Just stay in your locality, do what you have to do, and go back home. We've been able to facilitate 2 different clinics in Lafia IG area. One is fully equipped. We're in the process of handing over to the local government now so that it can start operations. During the campaign of 2019, when I went round, we realized that majority of the students in constituency 1 come to constituency 2 to do education. So one of the first things I did was that I was going to provide a free school bus to alleviate the pains of pockets of the parents, to also give them safety, because you have kids jumping from one bus to the other. So they're in just one bus, takes them from constituency 1 to 2 in the morning and takes them back in the afternoon. Nice. And over time, we've been able to facilitate 4 different, in 4 different schools, additional classrooms, so that at the end of the day, these schools can take in more students. So the long-term goal is that it will reduce the amount of students leaving constituency 1, coming to constituency 2. So everybody will stay in their locality to get their education. We have done a lot of empowerment. Our petty traders have given them cash to petty cash grants. Not me as a person, I mean through the federal government. Even me as a person, I've done it as well in numerous occasions, whereby you increase your market. At the end of the day, what your take-home is, it should be more than what it used to be. We've done that for a few petty traders. And for our artisans as well, we send them for training. And after training, we'll give you tools just to go and better yourself and increase your take-home profit.
And you're saying you did this
all this short period, yes. And some elderly parents, a particular man, he was one that actually started this with me. He just wrote a letter to my office. I've never seen him in my life. He just wrote a letter to my office. He has not been getting his pension. He's been retired for about 10 years. So I took it up upon myself. I started, going through Petard and Pencom, and eventually he started getting his pension. He got all his arrears paid, and then his monthly started coming in. And I didn't know that until he came to my office one day. Elderly man, prostrated. I was scared. Baba, I quickly jumped up and carried him up. What can be the problem? That I hope I will be able to solve it. He said, no, I've solved it. He brought a letter. He didn't even think about it. He just said, let me just, see if this would work. In his language, he said, Moshe, Yuje. And I tried my luck. And I made it happen for him. And after that, I've been able to help 1 or 2 others in the same situation. So that's some of the things that I've been able to achieve in the last 2-3 months that I've actually had to operate. And we have a lot of estates. I don't think there's any other constituency in Nigeria that has the amount of private estates we have in Eti-Osa. We have about 200 private estates in Eti-Osa. And I've been able to cater for not all of them, but at least as many that I could. I have done that in terms of contributing to them, rehabilitating their roads, in terms of giving them fire extinguishers, because fire is real, in terms of giving them
let's get a few
solar street lights to eliminate dark spots in their estate, security at night, and so many other things like that.
I have someone who knew you back in the days, and he talks about how your personality is very friendly. you're a people's person back when you guys were much younger. And I'm wondering, how has this been a factor in your political career?
That's one of the things that I was saying, that it comes to me easy because it's just who I am. I just like being friendly. I like raising a finger to help
in
anybody.
Politics, there's a line. Some people are elites. They cannot descend inside the masses. And some people are the people those who you call man of the people.
Regular.
They sit down. It's just, for some, it's only during elections they eat corn.
No, I am a man of the people. I find, I find peace in them. They find peace in me. We play ball together every Sunday. I usually play ball until now that because of campaign, and I'm sure immediately after campaign, I'm going to go back to playing my football every Sunday. I find time to go and hang out with the boys once in a while on a Friday or Saturday night. So I'm still, every party we go together. It's still the same. That's why sometimes on my status, I always put it there, same old me. If there's anything changing, it's you. If you have me if you have my contact, you say once in a while, if you go back to that genuine song, same old me, I always put it up on my status all the time that I'm still the same IBO that you used to know. Nothing has changed.
What was IBO?
What's the IBO?
That's my acronym. Ibrahim Obanikoro.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine.
I always tell my parents that I think I was born for
this. Yes. So how have you, I want the strength of your campaign team. Like she mentioned, you're contending with someone who is popular, who may attract a lot of sympathy because we know him and he serenades us with his music. Okay, let's see what would happen if this person gets in position. So how grounded are you? What are some of the things that you're putting in place to ensure that a lot of people come out and support you to get re-elected again?
How grounded am I? Well, let's take back to 2011. I've been contesting for elections since 2011. I was at the age of 29. When I started campaign at the age of 28, ran into election at the age of 29. I have realized that some of us have to be, it's not all of us that would be in 9 to 5. It's not all of us that would be in entertainment. Some of us have to dedicate ourselves to making sure that we try and drive our country in the direction at which we want it to go. And I've been doing that since 2011, consistently and constantly. I've contested. When I was in the PDP, I contested for assembly, chairmanship, assembly, twice in 2011, and once in 2015. And my elections were keenly contested. One of them as far as winning the election, going as far as tribunal to appeal. That's how grounded I can be. I've had my own structure before joining the APC. And if you know very well, the APC is a well-grounded party in Lagos State. Coupled with a grounded candidate, it will take a mountain to move.
Let's talk about your candidates.
To move the two, to take a mountain.
Okay, so the Obanikoro name.
Yes.
Of course, when I first said it, I was expecting a much older person. So not being Lagosian, I guess it's a political family, political name. And how would you say that has influenced you and also helped you in your political career?
And your dad's work, how much of it?
Obanikoro is a royal family in Lagos State. We're part of the White Cap Chiefs.
Okay.
And then there's a popular Obanikoro bus stop in Palgrove area.
Where and there's also your dad.
I'm just giving you why Obanikoro is resonates a lot with people. I've had people look at me and say, I've been hearing your name since I've been in primary school.
Yes.
I say, yes, sir. That's my father, sir. Then I've had people accuse me, you did this when you were chairman. You did that when you were chairman. I'm sorry, sir. It's not me, it's my father. So, yes, my dad is a politician, arguably one of the most successful politicians from Lagos State. It's a huge shoe to fill, and I don't think I'm feeling it properly yet, but I'm sure that over time, I think I'm capable to be able to fill it. But yes, he was once a local government chairman, once a senator, once a commissioner, once minister, once ambassador in Lagos State. And he obviously himself and his friends, most especially the late Ambassador Ademola Seriki, may his soul continue to rest in peace.
What's your relationship with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and he's running for presidency? What are your thoughts on this?
It's joyous for me to be able to have the president of Nigeria's phone on my number on my phone, and then I can actually call him, and I'm 110% sure that he will pick my call. And if he doesn't, that I can actually go to the villa and say, Daddy, I'm calling you. And I think that's something I'm ready to work with. it's bringing so much joy to me because I know that for a fact I'm going to bring a lot of development to Eti-Osa through that relationship.
Knowing him that closely, how would you describe him?
Very intelligent man. Is what actually attracts me a lot to him is he's a very good orator. And he sees a lot. You know, if he tells you, if you have a decent conversation with him, because it's kind of tough to have a decent conversation with him because he's always having like everybody, his attention is always divided. But he still has that ability to say, okay, when I was with IBO last, this was our conversation. It will continue from there. So that attracts me to him a lot, his ability to just pick up and detail this conversation from where you guys are.
And the Lagos State Governor?
Oh, Mr. Selibu, extremely.
How's your relationship with him?
Very good, very good.
And do you think he should be re-elected?
I have no iota of doubt that he should be re-elected.
All right, so we have to wrap up with you very soon. Eti-Osa, as it's been said earlier, is a very important area in the state, and you've shared with us what you've done so far and how you've been able to impact the lives of many people. They are watching you right now, and they're saying, in this our Eti-Osa, now, before we might not have options because we don't know them. Now we have options.
We know them now.
We know who these people are. Tell them why you must be selected over the others. I mean, you said a lot already, but there's got to be something that also hooks us more than when they hear the other people speaking concerning
First of all, they've always had options.
But we didn't know the options.
We've always, like I said, you know the other option because, and don't forget, this particular option was also on the card last election.
Yes.
You know, so the options are already there. We've always had options in the previous election. In fact, I even think that, like I said, the previous candidate is a grassrooter. And when you are dealing with a grassrooter, it's a lot tougher than, because the previous candidate, Tony Bakari, he resonates with the grassroots as well. So that's a lot tougher than when you are dealing with somebody that does not connect with the constituency that is claiming to be. You say you're from Obalende, but your family house is in Moloni. Moloni is in two places in Lagos State, either in Lagos Island or Ebutemeta, not Obalende. So those are signs to let you know that he does not resonate with Eti-Osa. He doesn't understand Eti-Osa. But I have lived in Eti-Osa half of my life. I'm 41, going to be 42 today. I have served Eti-Osa. Going to be 42 this year at some point, June 30th, by the grace of God. I've lived in Eti-Osa after time. I've dedicated my time to Eti-Osa. Like I said, I've been fighting for Eti-Osa since 2010, that I've been saying we want a better Eti-Osa. I contested for House of Assembly. I contested for chairmanship because I wanted something better for Eti-Osa. And eventually, I'm here trying to make sure that I make better for Eti-Osa. And that's why we are always available for all class. We are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we have a running website, I have a constituency office where everybody can
People have not called me, Sha.
Well, you see, that also depends on, we have over 400,000 voters in Eti-Osa. We cannot call all 400,000. And with the brackets, we are though it's from the same bracket, but we can be pulling from different blocks. So the block I am pulling from might be different from the block he is pulling.
So we have some tweets. We have some tweets.
Buhari Kwam Oladimeji says that Mr. Obanikoro, listening to you today has changed my view about you. I'm able to see the confidence and seriousness in you towards your people. Keep it up. Okay, Honorable Father Redam says, my neighbor, Jide Koro, is on your view. His office is always open. I have never seen him with security details. Friendly, of course. The only issue is that people say to Kosho, because he doesn't give money. Rola Keho says, Nigeria, don't give money.
There's no cash.
The country where political positions are passed from one generation to another of the same family, while the slaves and sacrifices go to religious houses to pray. What do you have to say about, this?
Someone that may think that
I'd
this
like
was
you
just
to
given
address
to you.
It was given to you because
it's
of
all
your
over
dad.
profession. If a man is a doctor, the likelihood of two or one of his kids being a doctor is extremely high. If a musician, the likelihood of one or two of your kids being a musician is very high. So it's all over the world.
You understudied your dad.
Yes, I don't see any. In the U.S., the Clintons are a political family. The Kerrys, the Bush, they're all,
Yes. We have to wrap up, but I just cannot let you leave this table without asking if it's possible for you to hold our president for the statement he made yesterday concerning the Naira notes. What can the National Assembly do?
Yes.
Especially because there's a Supreme Court judgment.
That's it. I
And you're the third arm of God. You're one of the second. You're one of the third arms of government.
I think the Speaker came out yesterday to condemn it, and I'm a strong opinion of that as well. The Supreme Court should be the only arm of government to intervene in matters as such, and they have done that. And the law says that all arm of governments are equal. We just have different jurisdictions. You as to execute, they make the law, and we pass the law. And if they've made the law, and the law of the land is the law of the land, nobody is above the law of the land.
You need to wrap up. That's all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having
us today.
Thank you for having me.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
In coming elections.
Thank you.
Okay, today is the D-Day, the ladies hangout. You have a free ticket, so we can come and let's not invite you. We don't want political people.
No,
you know,
what do you mean by that?
No, if he's coming, he has to buy his ticket.
No, who's giving you free ticket?
Anyways, today's our Valentine hangout. Let's not bring any political people, please. It's not a political event.
Jesus.
It's just hanging out with the ladies, families. We don't want anybody thinking that we are, But thank you very much.